This is a skill that I want the daughters of this country to know how to do. If you don't learn any other kind of mechanics on a vehicle, at least learn to change the oil. It'll save you money, and it's a really important thing to be up on the oil in your engine. You will want to be doing this more regularly than any other maintenance on the vehicle. So I'm going to be changing oil and an oil filter on a 2001 Subaru Outback. And I'm mentioning that because every vehicle is different. So what you'll be watching with me, it might be slightly different on your car or truck. And so you're going to want to talk to a mechanic or just root around on the internet and find the information you need to understand what kind of oil do you need. Are you a high mileage vehicle? That will determine what kind of oil you use. Is it motor oil or synthetic? And what kind of oil filter? And then of course, just knowing where to check the oil and where is the oil plug and where is the oil filter. So a couple things. I always like to wear this smock. My Uncle Pat gave this to me, and this is so special to me because I worked on my vehicle with Uncle Pat and he taught me how to do this. And so this is a way to keep yourself protected because there will be oil splatting and things accidentally happening. And so I like to put this smock on, and I also will put down cardboard. You can put down like an old towel. Just get something on the ground so that you're not rolling around in the dirt. Because I'm out here in the country, so everything's on the dirt. We don't have a slab of concrete, so that would be nice if you had that. The other thing, so this is my oil. I like to buy it in this big one. And because I have checked in my manual, you definitely want to have a manual for your vehicle. In the back, it says the engine oil capacity is 4.2 US quarts or 4 liters. So you don't want to overfill. You just want to make sure you just get the right liters for your engine. So just because this is 5 quarts, I'm not putting this whole thing in. I'm only going to do 4. So I even marked it right there. You can see I got the little mark, 4 quarts. So I don't want to exceed that. Okay. And then I also got my oil filter. That's what they look like. Okay. So I'm going to be jacking my vehicle up, and I'm actually just going to be putting it on these like ramp things so you can see how I do that. Otherwise, this thing here, if you've ever worked with something like that, that's a standard car jack. Okay, these are really, really useful and good to have around. And if you're going to be using something like this, you will also use jack stands. So I don't recommend if you jack your car up with the car jack, don't trust this. You know, I know that this is tough and it can jack up a lot of weight, but I would prefer that you also put some kind of jack stand underneath to support it, because if something goes wrong and this jack loses its pressure, you could get smashed. Okay, so you do want to be careful. I'm really making sure that they're seated properly and that they're tucked all the way up to the tire, okay? I'll let you see up close. The other thing that I'm doing was I'm looking at them. See? Look how they're coming. They're like directly in line with the tire. They're not slightly cockeyed either way, okay? I do want to warn you that it is a little tricky to drive up one of these tire ramps. It requires a lot of finesse with the pedal. You're feeling it, you're going up, and if you don't feel ready, just back off. But you need to punch it, and then not too much, and then be careful that you don't drive over it, because then you're really jammed. And if you did that, you would want to have your backup car jack to lift it up, and then hope you didn't do any damage under the car. Okay. But I always, like, as a young widow for 25 years, I just don't have a choice. I'm like, do it, go. You have to not be afraid. Even when I'm scared, I'm like, there's no choice here. I have to do this. So that's where I've learned how to do it. Okay, so let's begin changing the oil. Okay. So this is my big piece of cardboard that I save and I put it under. We are underneath the vehicle now. I feel like we're having like a slumber party and we're in a fort. This is the drain plug right here, okay? So I have a 17mm wrench and I'm gonna take that off. This is also hot, so I have a rag that I will handle it. I also have channel locks to get the oil filter off. All right, are we ready? I have to be careful because this oil is gonna be hot. I also bring my little soft mallet. If I cannot get this with my hand, then I will do it with the mallet as well. Remember, left is loose. Okay, this is where I get this going. God, it's tight. It's probably because it's hot. There, it just cracked. Okay. I'm not sure where it's at. It's okay. Yikes. Okay. I'm gonna lift this up. Oh, come on. Okay, hold on. Okay, it's almost there. So I'm putting back pressure on it so that it won't fly off. Like, I'm gonna have total control of it. There it goes. Okay. There we go. Looks good. I have accidentally dropped this into the oil, so don't panic if you do that. So this is going to drain for a little while. Do not lose this drain plug. This is very important. Oh, this is easy. That came very easy. So I think I could turn it with my hand. Okay, we're going. Okay, again, I like to put back pressure on it. And like right now it's completely loose, but I'm putting pressure back on it so that I can pull it out when I am ready to take it out. Because I want to be fully prepared to get out of the way when the oil is dropping down into the pan. Okay, here we go. All right, not too bad. All right, so I have the oil filter here, and what I do is I take a little bit of the oil and I'm going to put it right here on this. Okay, this helps with the seal. Okay, just right there on the top. I just tapped my finger in a little bit of the oil. It's not too dirty. I'm not worried about it. Now I'm going to be just screwing this on. It looks like it's drained well. Happy with that. Let's just see a little bit. Okay, looks fine. It's hot, hot, hot. So we'll get some oil there. And we're going to screw this on. Okay, remember, right is tight, going tight. I don't like kind of going too hard on anything, just kind of be easy, feel it out. You don't want to strip things or break anything. Or yeah, so I like to wipe down any possible leaks so in the future I can see if I have any problems. So I take this drain plug, I put a little oil on the threads, and I'm going to put it back in. Don't drop it into the oil. So first I hand tighten it, and then I'm going to take my wrench and tighten it real good because this needs to be snug. Now, I am not that strong, and so usually I position myself in like underneath the vehicle, and I use leverage, like I put my foot somewhere. You can watch me here. Let's see how I'm gonna do it this time. Yeah, like I'm gonna put my foot here and I'm gonna pull, use like my whole body. Okay, that's as good as I can do. Okay, so it's like 100 degrees out. You should probably know that right now. And I'm in the sun and I'm completely baking hot. Everything looks easier from the video, right? That'll do. All right, now we're gonna put the oil back in the engine because at this rate, if you pull this out, this is bone dry, okay? So this is where the oil is. Remember, I'm only going to put in 4 liters. Okay. Now, I've always watched my uncle pour this sideways, okay, but that helps slow down the pour. Like going like that, see how like that goes fast? This goes more slowly. Sometimes you gotta go slow or even pull the funnel out because it needs to burp itself. I usually leave the extra oil in my car, in the trunk area. That looks good. A little bit more. Because if I ever check the oil and it's low, I like to put a little bit in. I'm not going to do an official check of the oil until I'm off the ramps so that the level is proper and it's not giving me a false reading. That looks beautiful. It's right in the middle. Just a beautiful clear gold color. It's ready to go. I'm going to do one more thing before I take it on the road. I'm going to let it cool down because that engine is just so hot. I'm going to let it cool a little bit, and then I'm going to check that drain plug and the oil filter, and I'm going to tighten them up. Like, I don't always worry about a lot of stuff, but you got to have good oil. You got to have oil in your engine. And so I hope you take the time to learn this skill and know that things will go wrong. You'll take the drain plug off and the oil will like shoot where you didn't plan on it. It'll splatter, it'll get on you. You might drop the drain plug into the oil, or even into like what I did with my uncle. I dropped it inside. He had like this oil thing where it goes inside like a hole in it. And we had to dump all the oil out and try to rattle it out and get it out. So I've done that. And yeah, there's all kinds of things that can go wrong. But I don't want you to be scared of it. I do not want you to be scared. In the end, it is just a car and everything's going to be okay. What else? You have to know what to do with the excess oil. We have like extra apple cider vinegar bottles or molasses bottles that we fill up. And though you can see we have not taken these to the dump, you can take these to the dump, or you can take it to a local like automotive store like O'Reilly's. I'm just going to show you how I do it. So I'm very carefully going to pour it into the funnel. And of course, make a lot of mess. There's got to be a better way. But you can see, you can get the gist of what I'm doing here, just making a big mess. And we try to be as clean as we can in this life and toxic free, you know, but it's really impossible. Like when you start working with cars, you realize how difficult it is to actually be, you know, live a pure green life. It's like, yeah, forget it. So we do our best, you know, and that's all we can do. I'm just gonna have to get another gallon of something or other, an empty gallon, and be done with this. And now I've got other things I have to go tend to. Thank you for joining me, and I'll talk with you soon. Get sane, get smart, get skilled.